Omar Isuf made a video recently in which he points out that the TikTok era of social media has negatively impacted fitness content for two major reasons. Now, I'm a fairly unassuming 160 subscriber channel for the time being, making very unambitious videos about my fitness journey, so I doubt Omar Isuf will see this video, but I thought the topic was very interesting and worth bringing up, so that's why I'm making this. Despite being a tiny creator myself, I followed social media fitness since 2013, so closing in on 10 years now. And I have a gaming channel from way back with 6 million plus views, which isn't huge, but also not nothing. So I have a couple ideas about the comings and goings of social media trends. Anyway, Omar's message was essentially, and I've watched the video 3 times now to make sure that I'm not misrepresenting here, that TikTok has negatively affected fitness because, number one, the trending algorithm favors conformity and imitation rather than creativity and innovation. He brings up the example that a decade ago it was very uncommon to think that flexible dieting and strength training could result in one having a good physique, and it was almost revolutionary to spread that message, which he did along with people like Alan Thrall and Candido. Omar points out how these days there's really no equivalent of creators like these bringing fringe ideas into the mainstream, like how Alan Thrall did with strongman or Candido did with powerlifting, for example. Additionally, short-form content like TikTok, Instagram and YouTube Shorts simplify the message in chase for virality. The second reason he mentions is that getting clicks, views and hooking the viewer is more important than the actual substance of the content. He also makes an interesting notion that people trust creators of long-form content more than short-form content, and as such, while you can become famous really quickly making short videos on TikTok, you also can lose that popularity really fast. I don't disagree with any of this. I think it was all very well laid out, and these things are very important to bring up and be aware about. Why I'm making this video is to latch onto this idea in particular that the current fitness social media lacks innovation and new Alan Thralls and Candidos. The fitness social media environment has changed a lot in the past 10 years, and our collective understanding and knowledge of fitness-related topics has increased massively, with a lot of bro myths dying out in the process. Thankfully so. In 2010 to 2015, the age of Hodge twins and Elliot Halls.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do!
Social media was still relatively new and untapped. Fitness culture and information back then, compared to the present day, still had a lot of evolving to do, and even the information they had wasn't widespread yet, like flexible dieting, focusing on basic compound exercises, and the importance of adherence and long-term, as opposed to make-believe, quick fixes and shortcuts. Way more people today also know about the different iron games like strongman, powerlifting and weightlifting. While they might not exactly know the differences, they at least know that they exist. What I'm getting at is that there really aren't any comparable revolutionary ideas to spread anymore. The education phase of fitness, I would argue, is largely over, at least for the time being. The only things left really are minor details that have always been debated about and will probably keep on being debated, because researching strength and hypertrophy, especially in more advanced lifters, is both ethically and logistically pretty difficult. So, when Omar says that there haven't been new Alan Thrall or Candido equivalents in recent times, perhaps there cannot be, because the environment has advanced too much and you can only invent the wheel once. It is true that new innovations, or figuring new things out, or making something more popular, can open up new avenues and new possibilities to explore, but at other times it's also true that information and possibilities are finite. There's only so much information that can be acquired about nutrition, programming, building strength and hypertrophy. There are only so many lifting sports that you can popularize, and there are only so many people you can reach. I can immediately only see fitness being quote-unquote revolutionized on social media through merging of communities and making it more accessible. There have been some figures like Magnus Midtbø or Devon Larratt doing something akin to this, the former, Magnus, essentially merging climbing and fitness, at least to some extent, and Devon merging arm wrestling and fitness to some extent. Another example of this kind of merging of communities could be someone like Goku Flex, who is essentially reaching the Dragon Ball / anime crowd with fitness, though he's been around for quite a while. Then there's someone like Ivan Juric, who's been squatting every day for almost 3 years now. I remember a couple of years back he had like a couple hundred views per video, maybe 1,000 subscribers. Now he has 100,000 subscribers and gets 10-20,000 views per video. There is something to be said about someone going in day after day, just doing the damn thing and talking about their struggles and successes and general thoughts about trading. If that's not passion, I don't know what is. This seems to slowly be turning more and more into a general overview of the state of present social media fitness. Aside from content like this, that combines fitness with other disciplines and introduces it to new audiences and makes it more approachable, you can of course reiterate educational fitness content that most people already know, but people new to fitness don't. But aside from those things, I see there being two more rough categories of fitness content. Number 1. Promotion of dishonest and stupid shit. And number 2. Creators who debunk and criticize the former. Number 1 essentially involves stuff like displaying a very fake and manufactured fitness lifestyle, or taking drugs without disclosing it, and then selling programs, nutrition plans, and supplements with their roided up physique to gain authority. Then there are creators creating new, useless exercises for clout and so on. TikTok and Instagram are full of these. And even on YouTube, someone like AthleanX has been doing this for well over a decade now. He just has an actual understanding of anatomy and biomechanics, but ultimately still just overcomplicates fitness and emphasizes irrelevant details. Then there are people who are charismatic and have authority through their physique, but talk complete nonsense with logical fallacy after logical fallacy, and sell as many products as they can in the process. Greg Doucette is a great example of this. There's also just enough truth in what he says to make folks take him seriously, which is even more manipulative and dangerous in my opinion. It does look like people are starting to see through him more and more though. Now the second category involves people who have an actual moral compass and some integrity, who try to call out and dismantle the aforementioned bullshit. Someone like PhilionFit, or now only known as Philion, used to criticize a lot of fitness influencers and fraudulent content, but eventually managed to branch out to all kinds of other topics because he had enough personality and charisma to do that. Josh Brett has also succeeded in this kind of criticism content through his mini documentaries. Although he doesn't upload often, when he does, it's always well made and useful. There exists a lot of stupid bullshit out there, so I think continuing content like this that debunks and criticizes it is very important for the future of the fitness industry. But I think this has always been the case, and stupid bullshit content has always existed. Perhaps there was a brief golden era between the time when YouTube started favoring watch time over clicks, but before the adpocalypse happened and before TikTok became a thing. Ultimately though, I disagree with Omar's notion that there aren't passionate people taking fitness into new directions in present times and also succeeding at it. It's just that the ways in which you can do that are very different now than they were a decade ago, because fitness as a discipline has advanced and changed so much.